Last time we talked about a common way that cybercriminals can deceive you into handing over access to your personal accounts. This type of deception is commonly known as phishing, spelled with a PH. The term is derived from fishing with an F because its tactics are basically the same. Just as a clever fisherman uses bait to catch fish, scammers will use alluring messages to hook unsuspecting victims, tricking them into revealing personal information or clicking on dangerous links. Sooner or later, you may receive a seemingly official text message or email that, in truth, is designed to deceive you into disclosing sensitive information. You might wonder how these individuals or organizations got your contact details, but remember our earlier lesson on data privacy? It's not uncommon for scammers to obtain this information from data brokers or through data breaches. So, let this be a good reminder to manage your cookies and be cautious when sharing personal information online. Let's look at another example of a phishing attempt. Imagine you just got a text like this. It appears to be from Venmo, claiming that your account is being frozen due to suspicious activity. The message instructs you to unlock your account by clicking on a link. However, you're going to want to be careful before clicking on that link, and I'll explain why. In this particular instance, when you click, you're taken to a web page that looks remarkably similar to Venmo's login screen. At first glance, it might seem real, but there's a red flag. Check out the URL address at the top of your screen. Does that web address resemble Venmo's actual URL? No, it's a cleverly crafted imitation designed to deceive you. And if you unwittingly enter your username or your password on this fake page, you may have just unknowingly handed over your login credentials to a scammer. Now imagine the potential consequences once the scammer gains access to your Venmo account. Or maybe you don't want to. This type of phishing scam presents itself in a number of ways. You might get a text from your bank asking you to log into your account. You might get a text from the postal service telling you that you have a package awaiting delivery, but first you must confirm your address or pay a fee. There's so many examples of these scams, and they are all crafted with one goal in mind: to trick you into divulging sensitive information. This is why it's so critical to exercise caution when interacting with links. Whether they come through text or through any other means, look closely at the messages and make sure they're coming from legitimate sources before even considering clicking. Always consider the context of the message. Does it make sense for the sender to send you a link? Have they ever contacted you from this number or address before? If it seems out of character or unexpected, be wary. Look for spelling or grammar errors. Phishing messages may contain spelling or grammar mistakes, which can be an indication of a malicious link. Scammers are clever, but they're often pretty sloppy. When I'm talking to scammers and I want to send them to a certain site, I will write out a web address in an email that looks safe, but then I'll highlight it and I'll insert a redirect link where I'll send them to a different URL. This is meant to trick scammers, making them believe that they're being sent to a particular website, while in reality, they are being redirected to an entirely different location where I'll uncover their true identities. If you've got a link and you're pretty sure it's legit, but you're not 100% sure, here's a smart move. Type the URL in manually into your browser instead of clicking on it. By doing this, you can dodge any suspicious links that they may try to redirect you to. Scammers will try the same trick on you, but you can outsmart them by typing in the URL yourself. You can also press and hold on a link to display the actual URL and even give you a preview of the site. You can also check out awesome websites like urlscan.io. This site lets you input any URL and then it generates a preview of the page and gives you some details about its host and if it appears malicious or not. This way, you can gain more confidence before interacting with the link. Finally, if you ever have a question about a site, just talk to a parent or make a phone call to whoever supposedly sent it to you and confirm whether or not the message is legitimate. You should never feel pressure to hand over information. Anyone rushing you or threatening you does not have your best interest in mind. Oh, and by the way, please do not tell the scammers that I told you about all this. Now, if you believe that you've been phished, it's not the end of the world, but you do need to act quickly. So first thing you should do is change the password for the account as soon as possible. Enable multi-factor authentication like we talked about last time. Then review your account activity for any suspicious transactions, unauthorized logins, or changes to your account settings. If you think that you may have provided credit card or bank account information, contact your bank or credit card company immediately to report the potential fraud, and they can help monitor your accounts for any unauthorized activity. Phishing attempts are alarmingly common and they pose a significant threat to individuals and organizations alike. But by following these guidelines and fostering a culture of cybersecurity consciousness, we can effectively thwart phishing attempts and protect our digital identities and information from the clutches of cyber criminals.